Every afternoon, locals in Belconnen in Canberra's north grab a racket and head to their local tennis club. But when the sun goes down, having a hit becomes a bit harder for some players.
Tennis is a game for life. We have people in their 80s. Several of our courts have dark patches and light patches, and there's not much we can do about it with the current setup. To play tennis, you need to be able to see the ball.
Club president Martin Klein says the court lights were installed 50 years ago and need an upgrade.
If you switch them off and then try to switch them back on again, you probably have to wait 20 to 30 minutes before the lights come back up because of the way the lights work.
The club is a not-for-profit, run by volunteers on member fees and grants. Based in a safe Labor seat, the club applied for a $50,000 community sport infrastructure grant to upgrade the lights. They were knocked back despite their submission scoring 82 out of 100.
It was very gratifying to get 82 a rating, and to think that the effort we put into the application was rewarded with that sort of grading. I think as a club we would have been deserving of the funding.
They're one of many community groups that missed out on funding, but it wasn't because their application lacked merit.
Every single one of those 684 projects that were funded was eligible for funding under the guidelines.
The Minister's office hand-picked projects.
The rules were followed. Guidelines are separate issues.
A report by the Auditor General found former Sports Minister Bridget McKenzie favoured some marginal electorates in deciding where to award the grants in the lead-up to the 2019 election. The report revealed that more than 400 clubs received funding despite getting scores for their submissions that were well below the Belconnen tennis clubs.
A little bit disappointing. Perhaps I'm old enough and cynical enough to sort of always have that at the back of your mind saying, well, perhaps Commonwealth funding, perhaps it won't be distributed as well as it could be, but you can only apply.
I was disgusted. It was an egregious misuse of taxpayers' money.
In Holbrook in southern New South Wales, this is the only sports centre in town.
This is the MCG of Holbrook.
It's close to the Victorian border, so the sport of choice here is AFL.
All these facilities were done on the back of volunteers.
The club was built in the 1970s and 80s, and it's starting to show.
We've just simply outgrown the facilities and they're no longer fit for purpose. We have no disability access at all abilities, toilets or showers.
Oh, the toilet facilities in this main building here are atrocious, actually.
The Holbrook Sporting Complex still has its original male-only change rooms, so the growing number of women and girls who use the club are forced to change in their car or in a single female toilet cubicle.
You can see that it's just open to the change room, so no privacy, no access for girls at all. They're obviously having to wait outside while the rest of the footballers are getting ready because they just can't be in here.
It's totally unsatisfactory. Well, we're not talking about 5-star, we're just talking about clean, decent facilities that work.
The club put in an application for $500,000 under the same grants program to upgrade their ageing facilities, but were knocked back.
I believe the cut-off was 74 and our score was 76, so we're just above the cut-off. But look, I don't know. Look, we apply for a lot of grants. Some we get and some we don't get.
I'm not being critical of any political party or anything. It's just, I guess we would like to see that it's done properly and fairly and equitable, and everybody's project is judged on its merits and its merits alone.
I know, that's what I was saying.
The club in the safe Liberal seat of Farrer is now looking for other ways to raise the funds it needs.
Work happens purely by people rolling up their sleeves and digging in. Obviously, it's difficult to raise money in a small community and you keep asking the same people all the time.
Their applications should be considered again plainly because the ones who are the most meritorious are the ones who should have been receiving this money. That's one of the wrongs that's been done by this egregious waste of public money.
7:30 requested an interview with former Sports Minister Bridget McKenzie. Her spokesman wouldn't comment on the community sports infrastructure program.
It obviously wasn't right and it really needs to be rectified.
Former Victorian High Court Judge Stephen Charles is travelling to Canberra to speak to crossbenchers about the need for a National Integrity Commission, which has the power to investigate matters like this.
The way to stop it is a strong and effective National Integrity Commission, which, if ministers realise that improper behaviour like this is likely to be exposed, they're less likely to do it. This government is prepared to tolerate, to regard as legitimate, this egregious misbehaviour. And that is, I think, a lasting stain which will remain with the government for its life.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 7:30's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.